am Nia.
And I'm Sydney.
And welcome to Whole Lotta Baka.
In this episode, we'll talk about Naruto, episodes 59 through 79.
Spoiler alert! We will be doing a deep dive in these episodes, so if you haven't watched Naruto yet, you can sit back and relax, or you can join us again next week.
Alright, now let the Bakaness begin.
Wow. I'm honestly
I don't even know where that idea came from. Like,
it came from you.
No, I honestly think that it came from you, because you said, I don't know what to do with my hands, so I normally do this.
I did say that.
You did say that.
But it was your idea to come up with the whole corny choreography, and I was like...
And you went along with it, so what does that make you? Even cornier.
I go with the flow. That's what makes me. I'm just like, all right.
So yeah, that was our new intro for this episode. There's no very specific special reason. It's not like it's a special day or anything. Just delusional. Delusional. It's late. We got shit to do. We tired.
I gotta be up at 5 a.m.
Right. I don't gotta be up at all, but still.
Let's be nice. Anyway, welcome back, Baka family. How are you guys?
Thanks. I'm doing well. Where is the big red barn?
Do you see?
Did you see the big red barn? And then click.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
Anyway, we're back with Naruto.
Yes. We're starting with the very last exam before shit goes loose and haywire and down the fucking drain.
Down the drain. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, in the third exam, first is Neji and Naruto. Mm-hmm. Already off the bat, you're like, Naruto's first. And it's against Neji.
Mm. Look.
Huh?
Well, I was gonna say, like, Sasuke's fucking missing. Before we say anything, Sasuke's fucking missing through all this. But what was your question?
Right, like, the last time we saw him was that dramatic scene when they went to the hospital and they used the same scene for Sasuke and Lee.
And
he's... 2 pretty girls are here to visit you. Yeah.
And he's out the fucking window, gone on a mountain with Kakashi somewhere.
We haven't seen him since.
So what was your question?
No, we haven't seen him since. I was just asking you what your expectations were for Neji and Naruto's fight.
I really didn't see where... I didn't expect what happened to happen, because of the fact that Neji has to be in close quarters with anybody to be able to, like, you know, hit their points, and just, like, I don't know, I just didn't think that their fighting styles were compatible, so I really was not expecting anything that happened to happen, or I just didn't know what, you know.
Same. I didn't really know.
I don't think I had any expectations.
Right. Like, what could you expect? You're already hearing that Neji is the greatest genin in the village. He was the top rookie, and even still, like, no one is expected to beat him. Like, he's the best. Like, we've been hearing that time and time again since we met him. And then you have Naruto, who is the main character. So, you know, obviously, in a Shonen Jump, you're going to expect, like, the main character to shine. But it's one of those situations where it's like, how? Because Naruto is Naruto is such an underdog, and Neji's been hyped up since day one. And we've seen what Neji can do. Like, we saw him beat the shit out of Hinata not too long ago.
And they still hype him up, even throughout this fight.
Right. And then we even hear Lee talk about how he dreams of beating Neji, even though we saw Lee beat both Naruto and Sasuke's ass with ease. So, like, when you think of it in that perspective, like, yes, we only saw Neji fight Hinata, but we've also heard nothing but, like, fire things about Neji this whole time. And from really credible people, you know?
Right.
So... at that point, it just makes you think, like, well, what the fuck am I getting into? Like, I would have been so excited, like, all those spectators, like, I would have, like, everybody was expecting, obviously, Naruto to lose, but I would have been like, what the fuck is really gonna happen in this fight?
Right. With Neji, like, we also, like, part of this fight, we'd, like, learn about, you know, why he hates like Hinata and like what is going on with the family rift. Twin brother, somebody tried to steal Hinata's ass, and then brother came to the rescue and killed him. But then what was it? What village was it? What was the village that tried to take Hinata?
The Stone Village? Or the Lightning?
I thought it was like Shadow or some shit.
Maybe the Cloud. I don't know. I'm just saying things at this point. I think it was either the Cloud or the Stone Village, honestly.
Okay, so one of the ninjas in that village got killed from trying to steal Hinata, and so the twin brother Neji's dad was like, "My duty is to protect the royal family, top dogs. I'm going to have them kill me," because like that was the percussion. They're like, an eye for an eye, basically, a body for a body.
Which made
you kill one of our ninja, one of your ninja gotta die, and the person. It really didn't. I guess it does make sense because, like I said, eye for an eye. Like that's an actual saying. So it does
into my village, kidnapped a 3-year-old to try and steal my village's top jutsu, and then I killed you because you kidnapped a 3-year-old, and then you made me kill the You wanted me to kill the leader of that tribe to make up for the fact that I killed the kidnapper. No, makes no sense.
In their defense, it does make sense because I think that they purposely said that. What you're saying. I think they purposely said, "Oh, an eye for an eye. We gotta kill one of yours because you killed one of ours," just because of who it was.
No, for sure.
Because of who it was
because they had just gotten over war and they were gonna reincite war, and the Leaf Village didn't want that, which is why they gave into that. So I totally get it from a diplomatic standpoint. But as far as you fuck with my people, I fuck with your people standpoint, they were totally in the wrong.
You came in my house.
They should have came and fucking, fucked up the Cloud or Stone Village.
But like I said, if it was any other ninja other than like the head ninja or the head, of the family, they wouldn't have thought that way. They wouldn't have been like an eye for an eye. They would have just imprisoned him. They wouldn't have wanted to kill him just because.
Who would have given a shit?
Right. They would have been like, okay, fine, whatever. But since it was who it was that killed him, they were like, ooh, let's do it.
Yeah.
But then we also find out that Neji had all this hatred for his uncle, but his dad really was like, I'm the one that did it, and you're not going to understand. Let me write this letter before I die, and then you'll understand when you get it. What I don't understand is, why did he wait until now? I have my nephew over here hating my fucking guts, and he's at least what? They're 12, 13, 14 at this point.
He's older than them.
You too.
So he's 14.
Yeah. It's you waited this long to give me this letter. What about this fight made you...
They always do that in movies. There's always you've hated me and you don't know the real story, and you're 18 now, but here's this letter your father wanted me to give you. Okay, well, where the fuck was it 5 years ago? When you saw me...
did he write... Did he fucking tell you, oh, give this to Neji when he becomes Hokage, or when he becomes this and becomes that?
Exams.
Right, if he didn't say none of that, which they didn't even specify if he did, if he didn't say none of that shit, why are you giving it to me now? Do you not care that I hate you?
That I've been hating you? That didn't bother you this whole time? But now that it's been displayed in front of the whole world, now you want to give me my letter? From my dead father?
Right. I've literally hated your daughter's guts, my own cousin's guts, because of the fact that she got to live with a fucking father, and because of the fact that just because my dad was 2 minutes behind your dad, I'm lesser than, even though I'm fucking way better than Hinata's ass? This whole time! You didn't even try to reconcile with you didn't even try to be come to him and be like, Neji, I'm so sorry for what happened. It wasn't until after this that he finally comes to Neji and talks to him about it after him and Naruto's fight.
Yep.
After he fucking loses to Naruto, that's when he wants to come.
And if Neji won, was he going to give him the letter? Who knows?
Or he would have been just like, you know what? Let this rage fuel him. Let him hate me for this. What? Because he might come back around and kill your ass. Why? Why would you want to do that?
The logical thing.
Made no fucking sense.
I mean, for this show, this show is all about revenge. So to think that wouldn't have happened, or to think that he would think that wouldn't be a possibility, when he sees him as the strongest of all the Hyugas, and the anger he has towards the head clan.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, whatever.
It was bound.
Regardless, I loved this fight. Everything about this fight I loved, from start to finish. Like, it was fantastic. I loved it. What did you think? It was so much better than the last fight. Like, with him versus Kiba, then to this, it was like total upgrade. So.
Oh, I was going to say, he didn't fight Kiba, but you're talking about...
Naruto.
But you're talking about Naruto, obviously. Obviously, I liked this fight. I think Naruto, like, again, he always, you know, surprises everybody with his wits that come out of nowhere, but when it comes to other things, like, it's not there. I don't understand. But I feel like Neji low-key went down a kind of easy for, like, how hyped up he was when it came to Naruto being the person that he fought. Like, you literally said, oh, you know, I'm better of the Hyuga clan. But then all of a sudden, like, you got beat by Naruto, the person who everybody, like, doesn't see succeeding.
Well,
I would have been more distraught than Neji.
Yeah.
I would have been more distraught.
Neji was fucking paralyzed. He couldn't even move at the end of that fight.
I mean, he literally ripped him to fucking shreds. I'm like, okay, so you got the capability of stopping chakra points. Do you not have capabilities of enhancing your chakra points a little bit more?
I guess not. I mean, but there's only so much you can do, clearly, against Naruto's Nine Tails. Because Naruto would not have won if he didn't have the Nine Tails.
That is very
He only started winning when he activated, because his chakra points were already caught. And everybody was looking at him like, you should be not moving or dying because of the fact that I already got your chakra points, and yet you're still creating chakra. But the only way that he was creating chakra was the fact that it was the Nine Tails chakra. So obviously, that we learn in this fight that Neji being the biggest in the clan is still no match for what Naruto is capable of, basically.
What I didn't understand is that the people in the crowd know who Naruto is. They know that he has a nine-tailed fox, but they were still just as fucking confused. They were just as like, what? How is this possible? I'm like, you know, he has a everything has chakra. They've literally embedded that in your fucking head. Everything has chakra. You know he has the nine tails in him. You didn't think that maybe his chakra is going to be greiter, just like you have something in you, right?
And the nine tails.
I just don't understand that.
So. Wouldn't you assume
itself
so
that his chakra would
have that chakra too? Maybe.
Like, I could people in this village should be more like, Naruto has the chakra to do it. Does he have the brain to execute it?
Right.
But they don't say that. I feel like they should, but they don't feel that way.
They don't say that, but I think that that's how most people do feel about Naruto, because they know him as being the prankster and the person who's flunking out of school. So I feel like they don't need to say that, because it's already known that that's what everybody knows Naruto to be. No one knows him to be anything more than that. He's never showed any besides the people who are closest to him right now, because only recently has he changed and started to show promise. Like that first episode of him, graduating and getting acknowledged by Iruka Sensei was fairly recently in the whole time scale of where we are, in Naruto's life, and the fact that he's 13, and everybody in the village has known him for all those 13 years, and for all those 13 years, he's been a little shit. You know what I mean? So I could see how they, would come in and be like, "Oh, Neji, he's a genius. He's been the star since he was born. He's the Hyuga clan and Naruto." You know what I mean? He has
and Naruto.
Yeah, he has the nine tails in him, but you've never seen him do anything with it. He's been a little shit this whole time. So you don't expect for him to suddenly come in here and he has all this training. He's, thinking, he's being, actually strategic in what he's doing, and, then actually beat him. Everything about it to the people watching, not just us, but, especially to the crowd, because, the crowd hasn't seen as much as Naruto as the viewer has.
Right.
They're still seeing him as what he was, basically. So, I can see it in that regards.
Yeah, that is very true. So, after Naruto's fight, like we talked about, we get Neji's fucking shit or whatever. We already ranted about that. Then Kankuro forfeits with Shino because Sasuke was supposed to go against Gaara, but then yet Sasuke is still not there. Still don't know what the fuck he is. I don't understand why Kankuro forfeited though.
Didn't he mention? Okay,
like
so
why didn't he?
I don't know if we've talked about it on the show yet, but at this point, we already know that the Sand and the Orochimaru are like in cahoots, against the Leaf Village. Like we don't know exactly what their plan is, but we know it's against the Leaf Village and that they're in cahoots. So at this point, I think the fact that Sasuke wasn't there was fucking their plan up. Like they had a plan, and Sasuke not being there was not a part of it because Sasuke is such a plan.
I just wonder why Kankuro's fight had any, like, him fighting or not fighting had any significance. Like, that is the part that doesn't make any sense.
Like, not wanting to show something, like some move or whatever, before they attack. That's why he
okay, but, like, even if Sasuke and... Oh, okay. I guess that... Okay, no. I know why it makes sense why Kankuro forfeited. Because, duh, Sasuke and Gaara were before them. He wasn't supposed to fight at all.
You're right.
So that's... Okay, yeah.
Right, exactly.
I completely forgot about the... Yes, Sasuke and Gaara...
Right. We're gonna fight, and that would have been it.
Right, none of them... Yeah, none of them were supposed to fight.
To show any of his moves, and that's why he didn't want to...
Regardless.
Like, whereas Tamari, we've already seen Tamari's moves. He didn't show anything moves, so it was fine.
Yeah, like, but Tamari still fought because... I mean...
But honestly, I don't know what else was bad either. We've already seen his
right,
moves,
there was... I think, like, at that point, it was, like, stalling for her. I don't know if she thought about forfeiting or that was just always like that was just what she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it because like obviously Sasuke and Gaara are still not here. So it's like I'm just gonna fight just for shits and giggles, but at that point. Tamari and Shika's fight, of course I love Shika. I liked their fight. I liked how like it was all played out where he had his ground in the shadows and like, you know, he was like playing her, like toying with her the entire time. Showing her that, oh, only my shadow can reach this far, but really it can't. It can reach further. You have no fucking clue. And he was basically playing chess on both sides. He was playing the field the entire time, making her believe that she was making the decisions on her own, but in reality, no. And I like the whole, like, from Naruto's fight, the fucking holes in the ground from his fight, he utilized those. He's like, always look at your playing field. Wherever you... And he did the same shit with the other girl. He was like, you need to always be watching your playing field. You should always scan it. And if you don't scan it, that's gonna fucking screw you over. And it did.
This was one of my favorite fights just because I love Shikamaru and Tamari. I love everything about them. And I love the dynamic of, like, you know, she's so smart, ingenious, and conceited. And he's so smart, ingenious, but, like, laid back. He's not conceited about it. And, like, they're always, like, bumping head. Like, they always come head to head. It's always them two, and I love it every time. So, I think this is like the first time we see them coming head to head like that. And then, like you said, Shikamaru straight like plays her all the way to the end, and then like I already loved Shikamaru, but what solidified how much I loved him was when he was about to make her raise her hand, and then he's like, "I give up."
Like, but my thing is, even if he wanted to like win, even if he was different, like Shikamaru's unevil twin or evil twin or whatever, however you want to think about it, he wouldn't have been able to make her forfeit.
Why?
Because she would have had to, because they would have both been raising their hands. So it's like at that point, who wins? Who's winning that? Because both he had to work. He knocked her out.
Oh well, maybe he could do the same thing. He did the same thing.
Well, like, that's not what he was doing. He was raising his hand, so I'm just like, is this the way that you're going to do it? I was like, how are you going to do that? Because she kept saying, no. And I was like, what are you upset for? All he's doing is this. He can't actually make you say, I forfeit. I quit. He can't do that. So what do you... No. Don't make me do it. You can't.
But honestly, that shows that he got her so rattled that she stopped thinking. Because if she would have thought about it, she would have realized that because she's smart. And you're right, like, that would not have made her forfeit. But he got her so wrapped up in her head and confused based off of everything that he was doing, and he was just able to completely take control of the situation. And like he was just like confused.
You got me there. He done rattled her fucking brain. And you would think that with Shika, he wouldn't rattle your brain like that, because he's just like, he just seems like he doesn't think about that, even though like he's shown that he is a strategic man. And even in this scene, they talk about how strategic he is. So.
Right. And like the whole thing with Asuma and Kurenai and Ino and Choji just talking about him on the sidelines as he's getting ready to fight her. I was like, oh, he's so lazy. Like, what's he doing? Like, he's just laying on the floor. Like, first of all, just his personality, I love it. Like, the fact that people on the sidelines are questioning what he's even capable of. Like, he's just laying there getting trash thrown at him. And then, like, he wipes the floor, like, literally wipes the floor with her. Like, he ends up being the most promising candidate out of everyone.
I love his like sensei. I don't know his sensei's name. You can tell me what Asuma. I love that, like, you know, even like Ino and Choji and all them, they don't know shit about it, and like Asuma talking to them about it, like you said, like, and everybody else like throwing trash at him, and he's sitting that he's like, listen, y'all don't know shit about my boy Shika.
No,
absolutely
for real.
Nothing.
Like
he is literally like the Trojan fucking horse. He looks like this, but really he got shit inside that's working, gears turning.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Shika, fire.
They ready for him.
And then Gaara and Sasuke. Finally, Sasuke shows up. He done grown a little hair. Hasn't cleaned up.
I thought that was so funny. I was like, his little bangs got longer. Like
he literally looks like he was like living in a tent.
Yeah, he got a new outfit.
I'm like,
Kakashi bought him new.
I'm like, Kakashi, you could buy him new clothes, but you couldn't take the fucking shirt and cut that bitch. You couldn't cut the boy hair.
They only cut the back.
He's been under your care for how many weeks? But yet you don't cut his hair, but you buy him a whole new fit. The haircut would have been free. What are you doing? Poor child can't see shit.
He don't need to see. He got the Sharingan.
He's over here like, who's my opponent?
He can see through it.
Where is he? So how did you feel about Sasuke and Gaara's fight?
I mean, we barely saw them fight.
I was about to say with what we saw, with you know exactly what fight. It started out with I saw mother, no, mother.
Okay, the initial fight, I was excited for this fight. The initial fight started off really good, you know, like, I mean, first of all, Gaara's fight with Lee was already fire, so at this point you're already expecting, like, and you know Sasuke, so at this point you're already expecting a lot. So,
Right.
In that sense, I think it was pretty good on the writing that they actually didn't deliver. Because they ended up delivering a lot more on Naruto and Gaara's fight. But, like, I liked the way that they hyped it up, like, this whole time. Like, even, like, at the Chunin exams, everybody was hyped up for it, and we still never really got it. Like, we saw, like, a little bout, but, like, it was never, like, to conclusion. Anyway, he chases him through the forest, and catches up with him, and kind of gets his...
Wait. I do want to say another Shika moment before you go on that far. When they put them, all the kids, and all those people sleeping, and then, what's her face? Sakura got out of it, and then she got Naruto out of it, and then she's like, fucking, like, Shika's like, literally in the corner like this, like, and then, like, the dog, freaking Kakashi's dog comes out of nowhere and bites him. He's like, ah! He's like, you've been fucking awake this entire time? You have the ninjas in the background, ching ching, the little ching ching sound, and like this, you remember that little ching ching.
It's a little jump kick.
That's all you see.
That's all you see.
Blur. No, you all you see is a blur. It's just like ching ching, and they leave. And it comes like ching ching on the.
The whole line.
Like he's like, he's like, I was trying to hide, and they're like, even if you're trying to hide, this is terrible. Fucking get out of here. Come on, let's go.
Ninja.
Right, we're literally training to be ninja, and you're not even being a ninja.
He already is a ninja. He's just not a Chunin yet. He already is a ninja.
Okay, We're training to be Chunin specifically, and you're not being a Chunin. Let's go.
Get not being a Chunin. Do your job and help the civilians.
I just love how everybody's just still knocked out the entire.
I thought it was so funny though. Guy and Kakashi fighting in that scene, because that's when we find out that they're rivals. Number one, but first of all, everything Guy does is fucking hilarious to me. And then, like, his relationship with Kakashi is even funnier, because Kakashi's, like, constantly ignoring him. And he is fueled by it.
That scene with Guy, when he punches Homeboy through the fucking wall, and that ends up being the kid's escape, that shit was funny to me. Because he's like, he saves them, he punches them through the wall, and he goes, hey, guys! And then Kakashi tells them, like, you're gonna use this hole. I was like, oh, the hole that fucking Guy punched a person through? Was that on purpose? Or, like, it just so happens? Like, was that the plan?
Worked out.
Like, was that the plan? Be like, I'm gonna throw somebody through the wall and the children are gonna get out that way. Like, or was it just pure coincidence that happened? That shit was funny.
I forgot to bring up when Guy and Lee walked up in the first place. Because, like, they missed everybody's matches.
Oh, That was so sad. And he was so excited to see Naruto and Neji's fight. And, I mean, either way, he was gonna miss Gaara and Sasuke's fight, even if Sasuke came in time. So it's just like, you know, nobody informed them of when the fight was gonna, like, why'd they get there so late?
The exam started.
Right. Guy didn't say anything.
Like, he was in the hospital. He could have had, like, physical therapy or whatever.
Listen, we're talking about Lee, the one who jumped out of the freaking window to do 2,000 push-ups when one-arm push-ups at that, didn't give a shit about his health. Talking about he could have physical therapy. If Lee wanted to, he would leave the hospital. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck he didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Nobody go listen to people.
I know. And then
therapy would not have stopped him.
And then he was all like, oh, Naruto being Neji. I felt so bad for him. Like, he was, like, so humble about it. That really... I felt for him.
That shrunk him down.
I know.
Yeah, I did.
I felt for him.
But anyway, back to... Gaara runs away with Tamari and Kakuto.
Frolicking through the forest. Jumping through trees like monkeys. Sasuke obviously follows him because he's like, where the fuck do you think you're going? And then Naruto, Sakura, Shika, and the dog. I don't remember the dog's name. Shikamaru
that shit was
Shikamaru
went. He did. He didn't want to, but he did.
Well, where does he end up?
Shikamaru ends up, so they're going through the woods, and then the dog is supposed to be like the guide. Like, he can hear everything, he can see everything, he knows. You know, he's like, oh, I hear 9 people following after us.
Oh, Shikamaru trails off the other ninja people.
Yeah, he eventually trails off to the other ninja. But, it's all dramatic and shit. They're like, oh, we're going to have somebody be a decoy. And, like, obviously, Naruto's like, I'll be the decoy. And then Sakura's like, I'll be the decoy. And then Shika's like, no, it's got to be me. And I'm like, oh.
It was literally that dramatic.
He's like, yes, literally. Like, you see Naruto and Sakura in, like, the foreground, and you see Shika, it's gotta be me in the background. And he's like, I'm the only one that's capable. Literally, Shikamaru tried to sugarcoat, y'all bitches ain't shit. I'm better than you. Like, that's basically what he said. He's like, I'm the only one that's capable. I'm the only one that's strong enough. I'm the only one that has a chance of surviving, because the dog was like, that means somebody's gonna have to die. And then it's like, dun, dun, dun! And then that's when Shika's like hella dramatic. And he's like, I'm the only one capable of even surviving or having a higher chance of surviving or whatever. And he does. I would say he does.
I mean, it definitely wasn't
Sakura. No. Maybe Naruto. But I say Shikamaru because of his ability. And I'm pretty sure that's obviously the reason why he went. He was like, you know, I have the capability because of his power. You know, he can stop multiple people at one time. Mm-hmm. That didn't work out for him. I mean, he survived. That's not to say he did. He ain't dead.
He cool.
But, like, he got basically... He smarted them, but at the same time, they got a little ahead of him. Because he was able to, like, trap 8 of them. And then there was a 9th one. Because he remembered that the dog said there's a 9th one. And then at the same time, Asuma comes out of nowhere. And he, like...
And saves them, yes.
Saves the day. If it wasn't for Asuma, Shikamaru actually would have died.
Yeah, I remember that. All in the meantime, though.
Yeah. That would...
Kankuro, Tamari, and Gaara are running. Gaara's like in a half comatose state. I don't really know what's going on with him. Mm-hmm. But Sasuke's chasing him, and Naruto and Sakura are chasing Sasuke with Kakashi's dog. And Shino actually goes after them too, and he ends up fighting Kankuro.
Yeah.
Because he ends up following Sasuke because he put his beetle on him.
Mm-hmm. So it's a female beetle, like the male beetles follow the female beetle. They
emit a very faint scent. No, literally.
Yeah, a very faint. The male beetles have no choice but to follow it. The male beetles have no choice but to follow it. I literally have sunglasses that are not very similar. They have a green rim, but like they're literally.
You should have worn them.
And I'm like, what?
I said you should have worn them.
I should have, but I completely forgot that Shino even went after them too. But anyway,
part. Well, it wasn't my favorite part because so much of this is so good. But I did like seeing Shino fight against Kankuro. That was good.
Yeah, Shino literally was like, "You're not fucking getting away." Like I wanted to fight.
We were supposed
to fucked it up. Yeah. He's like, are you kidding me?
Like, you're not gonna be a bitch over here.
Right. Just because your little plan with the Sand Village and Orochimaru didn't go the way that it's supposed to be does not mean that our fight is not going to go the way I want it to go, which is me kicking your ass.
He really be seeming like low-key invincible with them beetles.
Shino? Oh, yes.
Yes.
I mean, if he fought me, yes, he would win every time. If he fought me, he'd win every time.
Honestly. Like there like a lot of people how this is the worst chakra pairing. Who would be a bad chakra pairing for Shino?
Fuck the chakra, bugs.
Exactly.
Bugs.
He could be against fire, wind, earth. He getting through. A nuke. Nothing stops beetles.
The fact that people actually don't forfeit already on Shino's ass is wild.
As soon as they see the fucking bugs start crawling on his eyeball, I'd be out. I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah. I see a bug near me and I'm immediately thinking that it's Shino coming for my ass for some reason.
Right, like I'm traumatized. Mm-mm.
Like, nah, I wouldn't fight him. You got me fucked up. I wouldn't fight him.
That was a good fight with him and Kankuro.
That was.
And
all of this is going...
Came and saved him. Because he got poisoned by, the ant? Kankuro's aunt?
Who?
Shino!
Kankuro? No. That didn't happen. Shino what?
Shino did win, but Shino still almost died. Because he got poisoned by Kankuro's puppet.
Oh, by the arrow! By the needle. Oh, okay, I remember. You said ant, and I was like, ant?
Because isn't the name of the puppet the ant or some shit like that?
Oh, maybe it is. I don't remember. I just call it the puppet. But yeah, the needle from the puppet, like, penetrated him somewhere. Yeah. But even going through all of that, Shino still won. Being poisoned. Like, Kankuro low-key had, like, the upper hand while Shino was poisoned. And he still won because of the fact that, like, he planted another female bug somewhere on him. And he's all like this, like, you know, he's like, don't you remember what I said before we fought? Or whatever the fuck he said. And then, like, it flashes back to him being like, I planted a female beetle on you. On Sasuke. On Sasuke. And followed him. He's like, don't you remember or do you not remember? Like, do you not listen in class? No, because you know she don't fucking talk like that, Nia.
That's why it's so funny.
That'd be crazy. the shades literally don't make it any better. Like, it's so funny because of the way
Jack can be up to him. You failed in crushing my plan. He would make a perfect villain.
You failed in crushing my plan. Oh my god. He would be a very good villain, honestly. He would.
He's got the voice for it.
I would like to watch that.
And the bugs.
I would.
Like, he's creepy enough. He's creepy enough.
I can't. I'd rather deal with the snake. I'd rather deal with Orochimaru than the fucking bugs, honestly, with his snakes.
I don't know.
And speaking of Orochimaru, his freaking fight with Hokage, with the third?
Yeah.
Which Hokage is it?
The third
Hokage.
Yeah.
His fight with the third Hokage was okay. I was a little upset by one thing specifically. Is him getting upset because he's fighting the first and second Hokage.
I mean, I understood because, decimating a grave. I get it, the shock. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, come on, he's evil. Are you really that surprised that an evil person would do something horrible?
That's not what I thought about. He was saying, specifically, yes, he did mention, you're desecrating a grave, how dare you, but he did say something about, how, sad he was that he would have to fight the first and second Hokage. And I'm like, you know that they're not real.
Right.
At first, I understood, but he's still...
really not even them. I
mean,
they're so...
At first, I understood, why you would be upset, but then after finding out that, it's really not them, it's really just basically a skin suit on other random person, and it's you're trying to save the Leaf Village. Even if he actually brought the first and second Hokage back to life, and he turned them evil, yes, I know you're fighting your friends, but you're not suppressors, your oppressor, wait, what is it? Superiors. Oppressors. And then I said suppressor. What the fuck? Anyway, you're fighting your superiors. I think successor was what I was thinking of, but even that was wrong. But you're fighting. I understand that you're fighting your superiors, but it's if it's to save the world, even if he brought them actually back to life, they would want you to kill them so that you would save the Leaf Village, because they would do the same thing. They would kill somebody that they love and know if that person was taken over by another evil force. So cut the fucking sympathy, cut the crap, and let's go. Okay? I'm so sorry. I know. I really am sorry for that.
And Saratobi's fight always goes down to me as the funniest fight in Naruto history to me.
It is such a joke. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that doesn't see it as a joke. I literally, that made me, that was probably, they make Orochimaru look so cool. And not saying that Orochimaru isn't cool, but, that fight, it's, so lackluster. Really?
Right, because he didn't really do much. And,
yeah.
Funny mostly because of, it was just funny because of the interaction between Orochimaru and the third Hokage the entire time. Because Orochimaru himself is funny. He is. Everything he does is fucking hilarious and weird and creepy. Even during the fight, I noticed Saratobi, punched him and knocked him out. And he, gets up from the fight and does this dramatic hair flip as he's getting up. It was so funny.
What's so funny to me about this scene is when they get in that whole entanglement where Saratobi stabbed through the heart, the monkey's already out holding it, there's the spirit coming into play and all that stuff. And it's so funny because he's supposed to be Orochimaru is supposed to be this cool, chill, oh, I've got you in my grasp kind of person. And it's so funny when he's this is insane! You should have been able. All your chakra should have been gone. Why are you so shocked? It's just. It doesn't even literally sound like Orochimaru. At that point, when he's how is this possible? Like, what? Like, it's almost like he's scared.
Like, his face is becoming more and more feral, like, literally, like, realizing he's clearly not gonna win.
Right, and, like, realizing that he's
realizing that he clearly underestimated, like, how this was gonna go.
Like, and that's it doesn't normally get played out that way in other shows. It's normally like, I don't know. It plays out where they're like, oh, clearly they know that they're not going to win, but it doesn't play out in close quarters like that. It'll be like they're far apart and they're like, there's no way, like, you know, reinforcements, backup has come. Like, I can't beat that. And so then they flee. But the fact that you're in his face and you're like, whoa, what is going on?
Going through his stomach. No, that was 4 episodes, and there's still them just standing like this. Every time you pan back to this, just.
And then the monkey's on the ground every time. You should have killed him while you had the chance. How many times?
I knew he was a psychopath.
Like, how many times are you going to tell me this? Stop talking about the past. I understand. I did wrong. Okay, shut up. We still need to fight him now.
Years ago at this point.
Right. We need to fight him now. I understand. I will buy you a bunch of bananas if it will mean I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not killing him when I had the chance. I was a little bitch back then. Okay, I saw him as like my grandson or my actual son, so I couldn't kill him at that time. I'm sorry. But that's not important. Like, that pissed me off about the monkey when he was like, he's still alive, Saratobi. Like, you're saying this like you have authority over Saratobi. Like,
but if you notice, them summoning animals always be talking with a slick mouth. Like, they weren't the ones that was summoned.
Like, they're not trapped somewhere until they're
summoned. Got a tongue on him. He stay talking shit.
For real, though. Stay talking shit. Piercing on his tongue, he think that he hot shit with all the piercings, huh? With them 18 piercings on his long ass tongue. They really do think like that just because they've lived centuries and centuries that they got some hot shit to say. Homeboy, you're in a lamp like the genie from Aladdin. Shut up, please. You can only come out if I summon you.
They're not in a lamp.
I know, but like basically, like they don't come out until their lamp is basically rubbed.
They're in like their own world. They have like their own total world.
But they can't come down until they're summoned, just like rubbing the lamp, Nia.
True.
The genie can't come out the lamp. What?
I said, maybe they don't want to come here.
And maybe the genie don't want to fucking come out the lamp. And he just lied and said that you can only rub the lamp when he can get out anytime he wants. Metaphor. Maybe. It's a metaphor. Maybe they can only come out until they're summoned. We're going based off what we think and what we know.
I know. But there's really so much that goes on in just these 20 episodes. Talking about Naruto is so hard. With only 20 episodes, and so much happens. Like, how am I supposed to cover everything that's going on in the Elite Village with Orochimaru? And Naruto and Gaara's fight. That is so fire.
Okay,
like, I literally
wait. We can hold on. One thing I liked also about the fight with Orochimaru in Third Hokage is that yes, he has to fight the first and second Hokage, but I like that we got to see what their powers were. Because you know, if it wasn't for that, they would have had to have like a whole nother like, you know, maybe season or episode to like basically say what the first and second Hokage did to get their title, or like a quick backstory, and then like how they died. But I like that they gave it to us in that way, even though like it was him fighting his, you know, superiors.
Yeah, I agree, because like even in it, like at first you're like, oh, it's the first and second Hokage, but at this point you have no idea who that is or what that means. Like, okay, first and second Hokage, you know that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you'd have no further information. So in this time, you find out that the first Hokage is the one who discovers the village. You find out the second Hokage has like the strongest water jutsu. The first Hokage has this hidden tree jutsu that no one else has ever even seen. Like, none of these people have even seen it. They're like in awe just watching it. So like you do get a lot of snippets about them just from watching them fight, which I agree with you. It's like genius, like the way they wrote that in, because we knew nothing of them before this.
Because if that scene didn't come up, like I said, they would have had to sit there and try to find another way. Like that scene was perfect for that. As opposed to like trying to find some off-putting way to put it in there, some that, you know, may or may not have added to the story. Like, that added to the story. Like, and it also made you feel for the fact that, like, he had to fight them, even though, yes, they weren't, like, the actual embodiment of
real,
them.
right?
They
but
still were.
But their souls are, like, from what I understand, their souls are in the body.
Yeah, that's why I said they are what they are. Still, you know, in that aspect, they are what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, suck it the fuck up, unless you want the Leaf Village to fall.
You're a Hokage. It's hard. Get over it.
Exactly. You think that you're like, what, 80 years old? You think that you haven't had other hardship your entire life? Come on now. You're fucking third Hokage.
I know.
The only reason why you're even Hokage again is because of the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. I will give it to him, you know, for being an old ass little man. I mean, they made him look so tiny in this part of the show. Like, I didn't realize he was so small until this part of the show where he starts fighting. Mm-hmm. But I will give him props. Like, he held his own against the two Hokages and Orochimaru. He lasted for a while.
He did hold his own. He's definitely obviously not as strong as, like, what he was before, and you can see that, but he still is pretty strong. Like, and that makes sense.
He's doing some dope stuff.
Old age.
Yeah, he
was doing some dope stuff. Just imagine if he's able to do that dope shit at that age and, like, that, you know, body structure, or, like, you know, just in that part of his life. Just imagine how fucking badass he was before.
In his prime.
When he was, like, in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And then freaking Konohamaru over here thinking...
Sorry.
I was saying that Konohamaru, I always have such a hard time saying his name, over here thinking that his granddaddy ain't shit.
I know.
Come and look, because he is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was impressed. You know, mostly because he was able to hold his own against three dudes who are in their prime. He's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But he died. R.I.P.
Bound to happen. Come on now.
Just to summarize it up, he died.
Orochimaru's over here changing his face every 2 weeks.
Oh my god. That scene where he peels off his face, iconic Orochimaru's. Of him peeling off. Yes, it is! This is one of the scariest scenes. And then just peeling off his face and then being a little girl. Or whatever. He looked like a little girl to me.
It was very unsettling to see his face being a little girl, but, like, it looked like a little old girl. Like, you know, have you seen Orphan? Have you heard of the movie Orphan?
Yes.
That's exactly what that shit reminded me of.
That's why that scene was so creepy. Like, so expertly done. And then, like, so expertly done. So creepy. And then we have, like, the big boss. Like a little snake. I don't understand why they didn't go after him. I really don't understand why they didn't go after him.
Because they were mourning.
Mourn later. This man just attacked the village and you let him roam free. Mourn after you catch him.
Listen, I mean, one thing. They always do that shit. And we will never understand why.
Didn't go after Orochimaru?
I guess it's because the Hokage was, like, the only person that, like, you know... What is it? The only person who was strong enough to, like, even go get toe-to-toe with Orochimaru. And really nobody else is, like, next level. So it's like, you would be going to send somebody else out for a literal suicide mission. At least with Saratobi, it was like, 50-50 suicide mission. With anybody else, 100% suicide mission. As soon as they jump after Orochimaru, a snake is down their throat. Dead. like there's nobody to do it. Nobody could help. Yeah. So, like, they were like, you know what? Go on.
Honestly, I don't know who could beat Orochimaru. I don't even know.
Exactly. And it would exactly have nobody else to go after him.
That man is sick. His level of fighting is completely different. Okay. Moving on. So the fact that he was dead so that we could get to Naruto and Gaara.
Right.
So, because there'll be more of that. There'll be more of Saratobi being dead and Orochimaru. But, so, first Sasuke catches up to Gaara, and they fight again for a little bit. And,
so it's really showing Sasuke is weak.
Yeah. And Gaara is, like, slowly being consumed by the sand. It's like every time we see Sasuke, he's weaker. Even though he's learned more, it's like he's barely made any progress. Not weaker. It's like he's not made as much progress as Naruto has.
Yeah.
Basically. And they're doing that on purpose. They're doing that on purpose because Sasuke is the one who's internalizing all of this. Which we see in
what?
I said which they're doing on purpose, which we finally really see in this scene when Sasuke watches Naruto fight. Because
well, you just
this is really Sasuke's first time seeing Naruto, because every other time Naruto has stepped up and shown out, it has been to save Sasuke, and Sasuke has already been unconscious. So this is the first time that Sasuke is really seeing Naruto for what Naruto can do, and it's already Naruto at his best, the best we've seen him. So Sasuke, who just came back from training with Kakashi for a month, gets all up in his feelings.
And with Kakashi training Sasuke, you would expect him to be better, and it makes you kind of think what have y'all done?
I mean, he learned the Chidori, which is dope. I love the Chidori.
He did. He did, but at the same time, it's they still hype up Sasuke as being really, really good. Yes, he was able to master Chidori. Maybe he mastered Chidori quicker than some other people would have, or as fast as Kakashi did when he learned it. But at the same time, it's it feels like it's still not enough. The fact that he was so isolated from everybody.
Yeah, in reality, Naruto also only learned one thing within that month. He learned the summoning jutsu, and really how to call upon the power of the Nine Tails. But that kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah,
but that's also greater of a thing.
Of course, that's what it's showing you again. It's just that, of course, the Chidori is awesome. We saw Kakashi use it already during the Zabuza arc, so we know it's awesome already. But it's just the measurement.
And we see Sasuke use it as well.
It's just the contrast, right? Yeah. We see Sasuke use it, and he cuts off Gaara's sand arm when he starts transforming. But it's just the contrast, and even Sasuke comes to realize in this moment that contrast when Naruto has to step up because Sasuke's beat at this point. Sakura, of course, is useless and being held hostage. So, and Naruto summons 100 something. This is the most shadow clones we've seen him do since the first time he did shadow clones. Mm-hmm. He just pulls out everything in this scene. And then
you think, and again, Sasuke's never seen this. So I mean, Sakura's knocked out or whatever, and it's that.
Tamari and Kankuro are watching.
Tamari, but they're in the shadows. But this is, but I don't expect them to have seen
their reactions. They pan to how Tamari reacts to seeing Naruto. It goes from
but they've never seen
about to get killed. Why would he come? To oh shit.
They haven't, but they haven't seen where Naruto has come from. So, but still, they're just as shocked as well. But it's it's just I don't even know. Oh, he was supposed to, at that point, you would think, looking at him doing that many shadow clones, being as so young and how stupid he is, it's your chakra should all be gone from that. And he's nope, got something up my sleeve. And then him summoning Chief Toad's son, Gamakichi, whatever. And him being what do you want me to do? He's I was supposed to be summoning your father. I mean, at that point, he didn't know that was his dad. But he's I'm trying to summon Chief Toad to go beat that up. And at this point, Gaara's engulfed by his true sand demon devil nature type thing. And I'm so annoyed, low key, by Tamari and Kankuro, because yes, what are they supposed to do? They can't calm down Gaara. There's no way. But them just every single time they pan to him, they're oh no, it's happening again. Oh no, is it really going down? He's almost in his final form, and I'm shut up.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's this far gone.
It's yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You planned for this. This is the plan. Did you forget that? This is the plan that you guys knew was going to happen. And they're still oh my gosh, Gaara's so far gone. He's taken his full form.
You clearly have seen him in his full form before. You've had
And
to.
you waited for him to take his full form just now.
Yes, you planned for it, and so you've seen it. So why are you shocked by it?
Exactly.
Gaara's
I
backstory.
understand her wanting to get away.
Right.
Safe.
She didn't get away until way later, though. She didn't leave until way later. I expected her to be gone the moment.
Just shook. I mean, because her and Conqueror were just shook at the fact that Naruto was actually holding his own up against Gaara. And not only that, Gaara's getting his ass whooped.
And nobody would have ever expected
that. They were already surprised when Gaara was fighting Sasuke, because Sasuke was holding his own up against Gaara. And, was actually able to, get some blows in before he went down. So they were already shook by that. They had no idea Naruto was about to come in and actually beat the shit out of Gaara.
And basically,
you were scared and you were gonna run away, but you've known this kid since he was born, and you've never once seen him lose a fight. And so now here this dork is about to kick his ass. I'm not running away. I'm about to just watch from a tree branch.
And Naruto low-key came out of that almost unscathed. You see Gaara unscathed.
He had a few little bandages, but they were both
compared to Sasuke, came out unscathed. Them little fucking scratches ain't shit compared to Sasuke bleeding out of every fucking orifice in his body. Ain't shit compared to Sasuke. Come on now. His little scratches are just dirt. Them little lines was just dirt on his face.
It's just his regular fox lines.
Right, it's just the regular little cat wings, or not cat wings, his little fox whiskers.
Cat wings.
Yeah. Gaara's backstory in this part was actually okay.
So hard.
I understand a little bit.
I love Gaara.
I love Gaara. It was so sad. It's so sad hearing or seeing oh, his uncle was oh, your mom loved you, the entire time she was pregnant with you, she loved you, she would have cared for you, all that stuff, whatever. That sand spirit is, the embodiment of your mother. It protects just like a mother. It does this like a mom, all that stuff. And then he's really? He's yeah. And he teaches him about love and hug. And all of a sudden he's bye-bye, I gotta go do some work. Leaves. And then he's walking, freaking Gaara's walking down the street, freaking almost about to get murked. Almost got sniped. Sand does the sandly thing that it does, the motherly thing it does, and fucking attacks freaking his uncle, and he realizes that he basically almost killed, or he did kill his uncle.
Did kill his uncle. Well,
no, he didn't. He
almost killed him.
He didn't kill him
until he found out that his uncle was purposely trying to kill him.
No, his uncle suicide bombed his ass.
Oh, you're right. Oh, but didn't he catch him?
So he did.
Oh, it exploded inside the sand coffin.
Yeah.